Ah. Red. The color of Studio Series 86 Slag. I'm sorry, I'm watching High School DxD right now, so that popped into my head and I had to do it. Hello buddy, DK Guillotine here, and welcome to my review of the Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Slag. And yes, oh man, I finally got Slag. This guy took me fucking forever to get, but I finally got him now, and did he live up to the hype? Was he worth all of the waiting? I'm sorry, my camera is all ugh. Was he worth all of the waiting? Well, yes and no. Well, thanks for mowing your lawn now, asshole, but I'm fucking recording. I'm sorry if you have to hear that the whole way through this video, but I can't really do anything about it. But hello, Studio Series 86 Slag, man. He is quite a wonderful figure. Although I will say straight off the bat, he's not quite on the same level as 86 Grimlock. But let's get into this review. So here is Slag, and as you can see, he is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful representation of G1 Slag. I really love what they've done here. Very beautiful all the way around. One thing, man, his head sculpt is so crisp and so clean. It's a little hard to see right now on camera. I'll give you a little bit of a better shot of it when I do comparisons in a bit here, but his head sculpt, it looks like a masterpiece head sculpt, man. It is so well done, so well sculpted. The paint is so nice, man. It just looks absolutely magnificent. The torso piece right here, you got that beautiful Autobot logo right there. Absolutely wonderful. You got his dino head on the back there. All the back cable was pretty much spot on to Slag. Very, very, very nice. Moving down to the torso here, that nice gray bit right there. That is not the jaw piece from the Dino mode. It is a faux forming piece. The jaw piece is right behind it though, so it's like the next best thing. But yeah, overall, I do think it looks pretty cool. You get that little nub right there, some black right there, you got some darker gray right here to break up that sculpt a little bit, which is really nice. On the back, some nice paint right there on those little bits right there. The nice gold right there. Actually, I'm pretty sure the gold is not paint. I'm pretty sure the gold is actually plastic. But down here you do some nice green and blue right there, which is absolutely lovely. His arms are kind of stubby, but that's not a complaint. I'm just pointing it out. They are kind of stubby though. He does look very accurate overall, very broad and bulky, but yeah, very wonderful looking overall. I absolutely love the way he looks, man. They really did knock it out of the park in that department. Articulation-wise, it's pretty darn great. You have a really good amount of movement in the head here because it's on a ball joint. The head is on a ball joint, but it also is on a little platform that you can hinge up right there. So you have tons of movement in the head, which is really great. Basically, double-jointed bend at the elbow. I mean, it's not quite 100% double-jointed, but you get a little bit more than 90, and you can get a lot of great fucking poses out of him. The legs are on these really nice ratchety hinges right here. You got some nice movement right there as well. And then you have a wonderful, wonderful ankle pivot right there. Now, getting into a couple issues I have with this figure, the first one is going to be fairly obvious, and that is this one. The legs on this guy are just a little bit jingly-jangly. It's not a huge deal. When I first got him out of the packaging, I was kind of disappointed by it a little bit, but it doesn't affect it for too long. You see past it pretty fast, and I have seen past it, and I really don't think it's that big a deal anymore, but it's certainly present, and I did want to point it out that his legs are a little bit jingly-jangly. It's not that bad, though. It's really, really not that bad. But the other thing I have an issue with this figure is the backpack. Now, the backpack is fine because it's very accurate to the character, but it doesn't tab in. There's nothing tabbing this place in. It just folds up on the back and locks in. There are these little bits up here that peg in place, but they don't do that great a job, and here's the deal. Okay, so if you have it like this, it doesn't like come out when you do that. Well, unless you shake it hard enough, as you can see there. But if you just grab it and just like, it takes no effort whatsoever to pop that off. And it's not that big a deal because it does stay on pretty nicely. This is a very minor complaint overall, but I did want to point out that it just would have been nice, like it wouldn't have been that hard to just add a peg or something in the back there so that this piece could just come in and it could tab in place in the back there and not just fold up on the back like that. That's all I'm saying. It's not a huge complaint. It doesn't ruin the figure by any means, but I do wish that there was a more solid connection for this backpack use because it really just folds up and that's really all it does. So yeah, that's my other issue with this figure. Now, those are pretty much my only two issues with this figure. I can't really think of anything else. Let's talk accessories. So, the main accessory you get is his gun, which is very, very lovely here. You got some nice, it is nicely painted. Oh, I dropped it. It is nicely painted. It does have a little tiny nub right there. It does accept blast effects, but you're gonna have to use light ones because if they're not light, if they're too heavy, it's not gonna stay on there. Here, let me show you real quick. So a light blast effect will go on there just fine, as you can see there, but if it's too heavy, it will pop off fairly easily because there's very little holding it on right there. But it is a nice gun overall. It is nicely done. Nice scope up top there, and you can just give it to him in his hand just like that, and you can have Slag with his gun just like that, so he can pew pew and bang bang, which is absolutely wonderful. And for storage, you can plug it in. You have a couple spots for storage. You can either plug it into the back, just like that, on that little tab right there, and you can do that, or you can tab it into the same spot it's going to tab in Dino mode, which is in the tail here. So you can just plug it into the tail just like that. And if you do this, now this thing really doesn't tab in place. But once again, it still kind of holds in there just fine, but yeah, it doesn't even, it holds in even worse than it did before. But it still kind of holds in there just fine, and it does work okay for storage of this. Me personally, though, I'm just gonna have him hold it because I think it's a pretty cool gun, although it is kind of difficult to get it out of here. There we go. So yeah, the gun is very, very, very nice. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say about the articulation. Very nice. They did give him a wrist swivel right there as well. So that is also nice. And also a waist swivel as well. So yeah, very, very, very nice articulation overall. And yeah, the gun is very cool as well. And the other accessory you get is Daniel. Now, I'll be honest, this Daniel's not quite as bad as Wheelie. Where the hell is Wheelie? Where the hell is Wheelie? This Daniel is not quite as bad as Wheelie, but still, like, it would not have killed them to just put a hinge in the knee. If they had just put a hinge in the knee, this would have been a fine figure. But they got lazy, they cheaped out, and now you have this. It's not horrible, but honestly, it's not horrible, and you can plug it in just like on Grimlock. You have a little port right there that you can just plug him into. He's got this little tab on his leg right there, and you can just plug him in right there if you really want to, but man, it's just like, I don't care. I don't care. It's going in the accessory drawer, and it's probably never going to come out because I already got this Daniel, which is actually a solid little Daniel figure. Plus, we're going to be getting a core class Daniel next year. So, like, what was even the point of that? Take that out and give us the sword. And same thing with Grimlock, but I don't know. It is what it is. I have to show it, obviously, but I'm not a fan of that accessory, as you probably knew before you even clicked on this video. So, there you have it. There you have Slag in his robot mode. I'll give you guys some comparisons. Alrighty, and for comparison, here he is with Grimlock, and man, they look so fucking good together. Oh my god. I think the scale really is perfect here because Slag is just ever so slightly shorter than Grimlock, like a hair shorter than Grimlock. Honestly, even less than a hair. He is so damn, it's just like that much, and I think it's absolutely perfect. Not even that much, it's more like that much. Like, look how, you can just see just how teeny tiny difference it is, but I think it's actually absolutely perfect. They look so fucking good together, man, and I cannot wait to see how Sludge and the rest of the Dinobots come out. So damn stoked. These guys are really great. I never would have thought Hasbro would ever give us like these characters to this. Like Grimlock, yes, Grimlock obviously, but like Slag and Snarl and Sludge, like I never would have thought they would have gotten this treatment. This is so good, but yeah, they look fantastic together, man. And here he is with WFC Prime. So there you have that right there, and I don't really know what else to compare this dude with. Here he is with Rodimus. So there you have that, and I guess, yeah, just so you get a sense of how he scales with Standard Deluxes, there he is with Sideswipe. So yeah, there you go. That's all I got for you for comparisons. Very nice. As you can see, he scales up perfectly with just about all of your other WFC Trilogy and Studio Series 86 figures, and he looks magnificent with Grimlock. I cannot wait to see how the rest of the Dinobots turn out. I believe Sludge is up next. I believe that the rumors are that we're going to get Sludge next, so can't wait to see how he comes out. Yeah, very, very looking forward to this, because these guys, they just look fantastic together. All the Dinobots look fantastic together. I would bring him up and show you again right now, but he's in Dino mode right now, so yeah. But there you have it, Slag. I do believe now we can get into the transformation. Now, overall, this transformation, this is a nothing transformation. This transformation is not good. It's not bad. It's just a nothing transformation. There's nothing really interesting going on with this guy. There are a couple spots that are satisfying to do, but overall, this is not a standout transformation, which is one of the reasons I think that this guy isn't quite as good as Grimlock, because Grimlock's transformation is so satisfying and works so well, and this guy, not quite. But let's get into the transformation. Alright, let's transform this motherfucker. So we gotta flip his hands around and fold them in just like that. So once again on this side, flip that around and fold that in just like that. You can go ahead and angle these forward if you like. We'll go ahead and do the torso now. So what you wanna do, get that head up, and then you just wanna pull this little piece down. You got his jaw right there. You're gonna take this bit, you're just gonna fold that up, you're gonna bring this out like that, untap it on the sides there, and that's gonna allow you to fold the head down in like that, and then just fold the whole jaw piece up just like that, which is quite fun to do, honestly. And then you're just gonna double hinge this in. You can see you have a double hinge system right there. And you just wanna double hinge it in just like this, and that's gonna allow you to do that. And then you wanna tab that into there just like that, and you wanna do the same thing on this side. So you just wanna get that in there, double hinge that in, and then it's also gonna tab together in the middle here just like that. And then get all that tabbed in right there, and then just take that piece and flip it back in just like that. Now you're gonna take the legs here, you're gonna rotate the entire waist assembly around this like that. And honestly, from here on out, this is pretty much where all the fun is pretty much over. This is not all that fun to do. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull this piece out, and this entire bit just like folds out like this. You wanna get it out of your way for now. You're gonna come to the legs here, you want to come here, you want to untap this piece, fold it out, and then bring that down, fold this piece out, and then bring that back down, and collapse that in just like that. So once again on this side, you wanna untap that, bring that in, tab that back in, and tab that back in. And then you wanna take the legs here, you want to fold them all the way up, just like that, and then you wanna double hinge them down, just like that, kind of compress them up, and then get that tabbed in right there. You can see you have a slot right there. And you wanna do the same thing on the other side here, so you wanna bring this up, bring that down, double hinge it in just like that, get that all collapsed in, and then just tab it in place just like that. So you have that going on. And then you wanna get that ready like that. And That is that. Now we're gonna do this part. Now this is by far the least fun part to do. You want to collapse this in, and it's just going to collapse just like that. And then what you gotta do is you have to get this in here where you have these two tabs, you have these two slots right there in the leg on either side. And those have to go into these two little tabs on this thing right here. And you have to get these in here just like that. And I've done it a couple times, so it's not that hard anymore, but it was kind of annoying the first couple times. But you just gotta get those in there, work those in there, and boom, there we go. Tab that in just like that, and then get this piece, and this piece will kind of just tab in just like that. And then you can go ahead and take these pieces. It's actually a very satisfying part of the transformation. Just pull that down and get that all like that. Same thing on the other side here, similar to that spot, similar to that step on Grimlock's transformation. So that's pretty good, and get that all good to go. And then you want to come to these bits right here, and the legs will fold out from here, just like that. And then you can flip this piece out just like that, and there you have the leg on that side, and same thing on this side. You want to get that tab down, and then flip the foot out, and there you have Slag in his robotic dinosaur mode, and it does look extremely good. So there you go. And here you have Slag in his Triceratops, robotic Triceratops mode, and he looks absolutely magnificent. I absolutely love this. Honestly, I think this might even be the standout mode between the two. Like, the robot mode is great, but man, this thing is it's just a big chunk-tastic boulder of robot dinosaur, man. Like, that's all it is, and it is really, really, really great. You got some nice blue paint out for the eyes right there, which is really great. The Autobot logo up there. Beautifully done. The colors are pretty much spot on to Slag from G1. Absolutely love it. That gray to break up that gray right there. Love the gold back here. You got those little arches right there that are kind of like the fake feet, because the feet are down here. The feet are down here, but you have those little bits right there. Really wonderful, man. It really does come together all that well. Like I said, the transformation is kind of nothing. Like, I don't really feel anything from the transformation. It's not like abysmal, but it's also not all that satisfying or not all that fun, but is what it is, and the final result is pretty great. Now, you do have some hollowness back here in the legs right here. Not a huge deal, just pointing it out. I really don't think it's that big a deal. I think the robot mode imperfections are a little more they're just bigger overall, and those don't really bother me all that much, but yeah, you do have some hollowness back there in the legs, but overall I think it's really great. Articulation wise, he has a nice hinge at the jaw there, and you do have a little peg spot right there in there for a blast effect, which is lovely, so you have that, and then obviously these are just the arms, so you can use those, and you can use those double hinges if you want, bring them back, and pose them around all you want, and then the legs as well. You can also kind of use the transformation joints a little bit to get some movement out of there as well. Nothing at the tail, obviously, because it's a big chunk, but yeah. Really, really love the way that that Slag's Dino mode came out. Like, this is really fucking great. And once again, I cannot wait to see how he looks with all of the other Dinobots once we get them. This is just, yeah, this is really good, man. This is really, really, really good. Excuse me. Love it. Absolutely love it. So there you go. There you have Slag in his Dino mode. Once again, we'll give you some comparisons. Oh wait, I totally forgot. You can take the gun and you can just plug it into the tail back here, and that will make his tail a little more filled out right there, and it stores the gun. Very, very lovely, which is really great. Although I'm actually just now noticing there's this huge hollow bit right here. What if you could you just jam it in there as well? I don't know, could you? I'm just curious. Yeah, you could totally just jam it in a hollow bit as well. I mean, I don't know why you would, because you have this perfect spot right there, but whatever. Hey, I just wanted to try it. So there you go. Beautiful storage right there for the gun. I always like it when they integrate the weapon storage into the Transformer, man. That is always just such a nice touch. But yeah, there you have it. There you have Slag. Let's do some comparisons now. Alrighty, in full comparison, here he is with his good buddy Grimlock. And one thing I'll say about Slag here, unlike Grimlock, who has all these screw holes in his other side here, Slag is actually perfect on both sides. There's no imperfections on Slag on either side. So yeah, that is pretty nice overall. But there you have them together. They look absolutely wonderful together. I cannot even wait to get to the rest of the Dinobots. They are really, really amazing. These are these are top tier Transformer toys right here. Alrighty, we're gonna do one more comparison. I'm gonna bring the camera back here, and I'm gonna bring this fucker in. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna bring these guys back up here, and then we're gonna compare this guy with the Ark. So you can see how they scale with that, because apparently they're supposed to fit in that. And also, I'm gonna bring in Blur here, so Blur can be like, come on, get the ship. Although I'm pretty sure it wasn't actually the Ark that they were getting into in that scene, but yeah, there you go. Let me move this back a little bit there. So yeah, there you go. There you have him compared with the Ark. Come here, Slag, because you're the star of the show here. So let's get you up front here. And we'll put Blur right there. So there you go. There you have your comparisons. Oh, and here's Daniel, and he can ride them. There's just a couple of little pegs on the side here that just peg in right there, and yeah, there you go. You can have Daniel riding Slag. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look too bad. But how about instead of Daniel riding him, we let Vertebrake ride him there. There we go. I think that makes it a little more. I think that makes it a little cooler. There we go. Charge into battle! Woo! Oh, and one more as well. Here he is with the Quintesson Judge, so you can be like, excuse me. And there you have it. So final thoughts on Studio Series 86 Slag. Man, I don't think he's quite as good as Grimlock. I don't think he's quite as good as Grimlock, but even then, I still think he's a really, really nice figure. Like, I really like him overall. He's a lot of fun. Both modes look great. They're really fun to play with. The posability is really nice. I think he's just a lot of fun to pose around. He feels good. The plastic feels good. I do wish the legs weren't so jingly-jangly, but it's really not that big a deal. Once you get used to it, you won't even really care anymore. And he's just so good, man. That head sculpt is so crisp, and the colors are so nice. He just looks really fucking great, and overall, I would say he's well worth the leader class price point, and just another really awesome knockout win from Hasbro, man. This is a great figure. I'm not sure it's gonna make the best of 2021 or anything like that, because the competition's very fierce, but he is a good figure, and I really like him. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Studio Series 86 Slag, and I definitely think S tier is, this figure is well worth S tier. He's just good. I mean, aside from a few minor little nitpicks, like the backpack not having a solid tab to lock into, and the legs just being ever so slightly jingly-jangly, and the transformation not really being all that fun, but also not miserable or anything like that. Just, it's overall a really awesome figure, and if you want a Slag, I could definitely not recommend this figure anywhere near enough, man. It really is a wonderful take on the character, and I'm super happy with it, and I'm sure you will be too. If you first get him out of the box and you're a little bit disappointed with him at first, just give him time. I promise you, within a couple of hours, you'll probably fall in love with him, and I know that because that's what happened with me. I got him out of the box, picked him up for the first time, noticed how jingly-jangly the legs were, and that the backpack wasn't staying tabbed in place, and I was like, oh man, is this figure really gonna be a disappointment after all this time? But as I started playing with him, he's been on my nightstand for like 4 days straight. I just fell in love with this guy. So yeah, S tier for sure. Absolutely love Studio Series 86 Slag. There you have it, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give me a like down below and subscribe for more Transformer content in the future. Next up is going to be Wreck-Gar, Studio Series 86 Wreck-Gar. I absolutely love this guy. I'll just tell you right now. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And this is DK Guillotine, signing out.